Frank, as we take a look at the Derby from 2 weeks ago, I think two things are apparent here. First, that Sham may have had some real excuses, and secondly, that Secretariat ran a brilliant race. And I think it all began right before the race when one of those strange things that sometimes happens in horse racing occurred.
Jack, it's a terrifying thing to horse rider, assistant starter, and all connections when this occurs. There you see the rider, Santiago, being extricated by an assistant starter, and 1,000 pounds of Twice a Prince reared up with his feet over the stall guard. They're trying to get him so he doesn't fall over backwards and break his back, but in so doing, he takes his front legs and whacks our native across the saddle area and the back. Brumfield has had to dismount to quickly save injury to himself. Now the problem, Jack, and they accomplished it, is to open the back gate and get him out without that complete flip over that I mentioned to you, without control. Sham, during this period, remained relatively quiet, Jack, and so did all the horses along the inside, because they know a disturbance is going on. Here is our native now, had to be led out the front with Brumfield dismounted. Meanwhile, in the back of the gate, Jack, they will now jog Twice a Prince for the veterinarian, Dr. Larry Scanlon, to okay his continuance in this race. In a moment, the rider, Santiago, will be put on, and he also gets a feeling. If there's any unsoundness, he will report it to Dr. Scanlon, and they'll either re-examine or scratch. In this instance, he was deemed sound enough to continue in the race. There's Santiago readjusting his equipment.
Here is the start from head on. That is Sham circled, and watch him get bumped now by the horse to his right, Navajo, and again. He had, at this time, already had those two teeth loosened, so he was in pretty bad shape at that point. Here from another angle, the start. And here you will see how Secretariat got away. He is 1A and looks to be dead last at this point.
It was a slow start, Jack. The chart called it 11th, but he was last before they'd gone a few feet.
But now watch the move he puts on. That's Secretariat on the outside and running third. Shecky Green on the rail, number 2, and Sham at this point leading. But watch Secretariat fly.
He comes around the turn on his right lead, Jack, and under the right-hand whipping of Turcotte, he starts in towards his foe. Sham, meantime, under left-hand hitting, is coming out. And you see two great human athletes here adjust to avoid collision. Turcotte's stick now in his left hand, and he gets away from Sham.
And now Secretariat makes it all the way as Turcotte looks back and goes on to set a new Kentucky Derby record. Sham, in finishing second, also broke the old Derby record time. Well, that was 2 weeks.